off with the good old-fashioned Edmonton Oilers, and well, this road trip so far has been, how do we say it? Less than excellent. That's what I'm going to use the words to describe this as. Start things off. You know what? I'm not going to say it start to start. We're just going to break it down by team. St. Louis should have won. Chicago, you know what? It was the Blackhawks. The fact that they lost it was basically inevitable. Dallas, great win over Dallas. Fantastic win over Dallas Stars. Minnesota, an abomination of a hockey game. How do you go an entire period and not get one shot? Not one. Zero. How does it happen in the National Hockey League? You don't even see that in the American League, the ECHL, the AHL, the IHL, the Central Hockey League. You don't see this in the WHL or Bantam Hockey. A team does not go a full period with 0 shots. That is pathetic. And the Edmonton Oilers pulled that off in the second period. They were outshot again to the Wild 18-0. And Ralph Kruger on the bench looked like he wanted to drop kick somebody's head off. I couldn't really blame the man. I mean, there was no fight, there was no passion, there was no pushback in that game against Minnesota in a game that they really should have had to have. And Nick Backstrom now moves, or he moved after that game, to 17-0 at home against the Oilers. Not 0-1 shootout loss or OT loss. 17-0-0, meaning he has Edmonton's number at home and maybe always will be. I hope not, but it's looking that way. Because he turns into a brick wall. I don't mean metaphorically. He shape-shifts into a red brick wall. I mean, it's probably bad for the internal organs, but hey, Backstrom can do it. I mean, I don't know what it's going to take Edmonton to win in Minnesota consistently. It's a shame, most definitely. And now the Oilers move on this road trip there now. And of course, Columbus, another game that they should have had. The league's worst team almost put up 40 shots on them in a game they had, plain and simple, until the Blue Jackets pulled Steve Mason for Sergei Bobrovsky. And then it went all downhill like Shaquille O'Neal chasing a taco truck. It didn't end well. So, I mean, what has to happen now? If this Oilers team misses the playoffs again, Jason Strudwick said it best on his show here in Edmonton. We have to look at this organization from the top to the bottom. Really take a hard look at it and examine who stays and who goes. And I think if this team misses the playoffs, Steve Tambellini, sir, he is given his walking papers. I think Tambellini is done if this team misses the playoffs once again. That would be an absolute shame. But you know what? They're still in the thick of things. Only 3 points out. Yes, they're in what? They're in 13th in the West. It's a bad position to be in. But there's time to catch up. There's time to make things right. But this team needs size. They really need more size. I mean, acquiring Mike Brown, great deal. For a draft pick, great pickup to bring in Mike Brown. All people are saying, oh, just a faster Darcy Hordichuk. Just a faster Ben Eager. No. Mike Brown irritates people. Mike Brown gets under your skin. Mike Brown can make the Oilers tough to play against. Something you haven't heard in the NHL for a very long time. So that was a great trade. But now, you have your agitator. You have your guy who can be a pest. Now, what do you do about the defense core? What do you do about ways to get this team more W's and get back into the second season, which you haven't been in since 05-06? That needs to be addressed, and addressed pretty dang quickly in a 48-game season. And of course, we always talk about trading Ryan Whitney. End of the day, you know what? If he shipped, he shipped. But if we're going to trade him, or sorry, the Oilers are going to trade him. There's no we in this. If they're going to trade him, he's got to play more. You don't want to trade for a guy who's not playing. Ryan Whitney will have to play more, showcase what he can do. And against St. Louis, great game for him against the Blues. Great for him to get his first goal of the year. Maybe, hey, showcase a little bit more, and someone decides to want to just play nice with us and give us a nice deal. But one guy I really would love to see in Edmonton. I know Jason's going to hate me for saying this again, but I love to see Chris Stewart. A bigger body, soft hands, physical player out of St. Louis. I would love to somehow get Chris Stewart out of St. Louis and into Edmonton Oilers Silks. Yeah, he has a little bit of a belly, but you know what though? The dude is effective when he's on the ice. He's a guy I would love to see in Edmonton, but who do you trade him for? I've seen rumors, dude, send Hemsky to St. Louis. Because right now Hemsky is hot. His trade stock is at an all-time high. So is it an Alex Hemsky Edmonton has to deal to get a Chris Stewart? Maybe Tampa pulls that trigger and says, listen, enough's enough. I gotta do this. Wouldn't mind seeing it at all. We have no problems seeing that deal take place. Of course, for Alex Hemsky, it'll be tough because Alex Hemsky's been a guy. You know what? I've made my points about Hemsky many episodes before, but he's one of the few guys on his team who knows what it's like to win, who has been around the winning attitude. He's been around that, but Alex Hemsky is still, at the same time, he can be a great player, but very streaky. Right now, he's playing great, but you don't know when the dip can happen. Hopefully, it doesn't happen, but we will see. You want to chime in on my take or anything else? Call in 714-627-9270. Brad Barco from Broadcast Sports on Blog Talk Radio will be joining us at 6:30 p.m. Talk to Brad about the Oilers. Talk to Brad about as people. If you listen to my show before, you know that Brad does commentary for the Nate Oaks men's and women's hockey teams. The Nate Oaks are in the ACAC semifinals, up 2-0 in their series. So we'll talk to Brad about the Nate Oaks, who have been one of the best, one of the better Canadian university hockey teams this season. They've been playing absolutely phenomenal hockey. It's great stuff. If you don't check out university hockey, go. The games are cheap, if not free. Great quality of play, and hey, a lot of the guys you watch playing Canadian university hockey, they may not make NHL, but they will be going pro. Almost all of them. So it's a high level of hockey for cheap. And hey, support students. Fantastic stuff. So check that out. University hockey. And even more props to the University of Alberta Golden Bears men's hockey team who are going to nationals. Friend of the show, Rhett Rachinsky, is on that squad. Good luck to the boys who will be nationals in Saskatoon. Absolutely fantastic stuff. The Alberta Golden Bears won their 50th Canada West title. 50 titles in school history. And the Bears hockey program has been around for over 100 years. That program is the cream of the crop in Canadian university hockey. The U of A Golden Bears, they are the program people desire to be when you talk CIS men's hockey. Great stuff to see that the Golden Bears are going back to nationals again. And hopefully, get the job done. They haven't won nationals in about, I want to say, since 07-08. So hopefully they bring the title back to Edmonton. Would be fantastic stuff to see because that's some great quality of hockey. Because they absolutely rolled through Canada West. And their goaltender, Curtis Muka, he had 5 straight shutouts. That's insanity. 5 straight shutouts. Over 300 minutes of not letting the opposing team score on you. Bonkers, I say. Absolutely crazy to be that good and to stand on your head for that long at such a high level. Needs to be applauded. Great stuff, Curtis. Absolutely sensational. We'll take a commercial break. I'll be right back with so much more. Avry Sports for the webcast on livestream.com/Avry Sports. Hit me up on Twitter at AVRY. Once again, at AVRY. If you're new to the program, yes, my Twitter account is only 4 letters long. Because not every Avry spells it with no E. Oh, he's a monster. No, I'm unique. Anyway, if you want to call into the program after the break, 714-627-9270. Let's get those phone lines lighting up.